I was just making mention about how man was living by seas during early time of Earth. And I mentioned about genes. Well, when Earth was formed, there were genes in the Earth. Genes were at the tops of plateaus that went into the development of man, and genes were in the Earth at very lowlands. Plateaus would slope down to meet with lowlands, and the lowlands would meet with seas. And there were genes in the Earth in the lowlands by seas that man was developing from. Now, the genes that were in the Earth at the tops of plateaus, as I made mention previously, we were being heavily bombarded by cosmic rays. Our atmosphere wasn't very massive. And cosmic rays would come through our atmosphere at strong intensities and hit our planet's surface. Well, the tops of plateaus that were miles high, they got hit very intensely by cosmic rays, where genes were in the Earth on the tops of plateaus that went into making a man. And those genes got affected by cosmic rays. So those genes became mutated by cosmic radiation and caused man to develop a certain way on the tops of plateaus, high above the lowlands, whereas man in the lowlands was developing different. They were developing to look like we look. The cosmic rays weren't bombarding the lowlands as heavily as they were bombarding the tops of plateaus where genes were going into the making of man. So the genes that were in the Earth at lowlands that were going into the making of man, they weren't heavily bombarded by cosmic rays. So they weren't getting very mutated. And man came about that was different than the man that was coming about on the tops of plateaus. The man on the tops of plateaus looked much different than man that was developing in the lowlands by seas. Those people developing at the tops of plateaus, they were primitive man. They looked not like human. We come from humans that came about on the planet.